Good morning, friends. We are back at Creation Station. We're going to be making some emulsified coffee body scrub today. We're going to be using the coffee-infused oil that we made a couple videos ago, as well as the coffee-infused butter. So without further ado, let's just go right into the video. Less talking is more, in my opinion. I'm going to just dump everything into my water phase, and we're going to be putting everything into a water bath. So don't be alarmed if you see that the powders are not going to dissolve. They will once we start heating everything up. So we have some distilled water here. To that, we're going to be adding our chelating agent, which is disodium EDTA. And this is room temperature distilled water. So that's why you're not going to see these powders dissolving right now. Okay, next let's get in our allantoin. This one definitely needs to be warmed up to be incorporated fully and dissolve. Otherwise you'll be left with chunks. But again, don't worry about that right now. We're just getting everything into our beaker, and then this is going to go into a water bath. So after our allantoin, we are going to be putting in some propanediol. Followed by some butylene glycol. You can use pentylene glycol if you'd like. You can use any glycol if you'd like. It's part of the preservative system. All right, give that a really good stir. We're going to set this off to the side just for a moment because we want to get our glycerin and xanthan gum dispersed in here. It's not going to be hydrated yet until we add it to the water, but we have some glycerin, some vegetable glycerin, and some xanthan gum. For this particular product, it really doesn't matter which kind of xanthan gum you use. You're not looking for a clear gel product. So even if you wanted to use the stuff that you can get like on Amazon, you could. You're not going to see this xanthan gum. But give that a good mix with the glycerin so we can start dissolving it. And then once we're ready for the water phase and all those other powders are done, we'll go ahead and add this to the water phase to hydrate it. Just give it a little stir. And then we're just going to leave that off to the side. So we've got our water phase, we've got our glycerin over there. Let's start on our oil phase. I'm going to put that in a big beaker here. So we're going to start off with some soft and silky emulsifying wax because I personally adore it. It feels fantastic. And in a scrub, it is very, very nice. It's a blend of cetyl alcohol and cetyreth. It's really, really lovely. I love the skin feel of that. Okay, following our and you can get this at Wholesale Supplies Plus, but just look for the Inky. You can get it anywhere. Just search for the Inky and you can find it anywhere. Okay, soft and silky emulsifying wax. After that, we're going to be putting in some cetyl alcohol because it's also going to give a very lovely silky feel. We're going to be adding just a touch of stearic acid so that it can firm up a little bit and hold its shape a little bit better. After that, we're going to be adding some jojoba oil, which is actually a wax, but the shelf life on jojoba oil is incredible. It lasts for a very, very, very long time. All right, next we're going to be adding that wonderful coffee oil that we had infused a couple videos ago. I'll go ahead and link that below. Wow, the smell. And again, we're making an emulsified coffee body scrub, so all things coffee, baby. Wake me up. All right, next we're going to be adding that beautiful coffee butter that we took our coffee oil and we made it into butter. So we're going to be adding that to the pool. Coffee, coffee everywhere. It all smells so divine. All right, and lastly, to our oil phase, we're going to be adding our vitamin E. Once you have your oil phase and your water phase all weighed out and measured, go ahead and stick a plastic wrap on top of your water container so that we don't lose a lot of water. We're still going to lose some to evaporation. And then weigh that entire vessel. We're going to want to add more water. Write that number down. Once we're done, we're going to want to add more water that we have lost due to evaporation. Fill your water bath. I just have a cotton, like a towel on the bottom here so that my beakers aren't touching the bottom of my pan. It's just my preference. All right, let's get our beakers in here. You'll want to fill up the water till the top of the oil phase at least, because we have a lot more of that than we do the water phase. As long as your pan can handle it, the volume of water, go ahead and do that. All right, that's actually perfect. All right, we're going to let this go ahead and do its thing and heat up and melt down. Bring you back in a second. Okay, once you can see that everything is melted down and heated up, go ahead and remove it from your water bath. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of distilled water in here just to be able to pour it a little bit better, because we're going to have to add some back in. All right, let's go ahead and weigh our water portion. Still a little bit. I didn't want to get this too heated up, so there's still just a little bit of dissolving that needs to happen, but it will. All right, let's put this on here and add the water back in. All right, good. All right, let's go ahead and get our glycerin mix, our xanthan gum and our glycerin mix into the water phase. Give that a good stir. All right, let's get that xanthan gum hydrated. It's looking good. We're going to go ahead and just add the water phase to the oil phase. I don't even know if you guys can see way over there. Apologize. All right, let's start to give this a mix just to make sure everything gets mixed in really well. All right, so at this point, I'm just going to give it a good whisk because we're going to wind up leaving this overnight anyway. So the consistency is really nice. This is getting really nice now. But what we're going to do is go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients, and then we're just going to leave this overnight. So we're going to be adding in some polysugamose, and some green tea extract. Some green coffee extract. I made these myself, by the way. I make all my extracts now. I don't purchase them because, wow, have you looked at the price of extracts lately? Plus, I want to know how it's made. All right, we're going to be putting in our phenoxyethanol, which is our preservative. And lastly, we're going to be putting in some morning coffee latte fragrance oil. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision, because this is ridiculous. It's so good. All right, let's just give this a little whisk. All right, let's get this into a bowl, and we're gonna put some saran wrap on it and leave it overnight. Then when we come back tomorrow, like I said, we're gonna give it a little whisk, or a blend rather, with our stick blender. And then we're gonna add our exfoliants. All right, let's cover this with some plastic wrap. I'll bring you guys back tomorrow when we're ready to go ahead and mix this up really well and add our exfoliants. Hint, we're gonna be using the coffee that we used to make our coffee oil and our coffee butter, along with some other things. See you in a second. It's the next day, and we're going to go ahead and give a mix to our beautiful body scrub base here. And then we're going to add some exfoliants. I have a bunch of exfoliants here. We are not going to be using these today. I just brought a few of these out just to show you guys some of the things that you could put into scrubs other than sugar. Today we are going to be using sugar and the coffee grounds that we use to infuse the oil with, but here's just a few. There's a lot. You can use grains, nuts, seeds, mineral powders, botanicals, though I wouldn't do that because they're prone to mold. I'm going to put a full list up on the screen in just a second, but some orange peel powder, some ground cinnamon sticks. You could use crushed grape seeds, walnut hulls, apricot seed powder. There's all kinds of different exfoliants other than sugar and salt that you can use. And again, I'm going to go ahead and put a list up right now with some lovely music for you to ponder while I'm getting things ready to mix. Let's give this a mix. All right, looking good. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and add our sugar and our ground coffee right to the mix here. I went ahead and dried my coffee. After I got done infusing it, I drained it for like, oh gosh, I don't even know, days, multiple days I was having it draining to get the oil out of there. And then I gave it a quick dry in the oven. You could have just used that the way that it was, but keep in mind, like after you infuse your oils into the coffee, there's going to be a lot of residual oil left in the coffee, which is fine. It's more coffee oil that you're adding to this. But if there's a lot and you don't feel like going through the process of draining the oil like I did, draining the oil out of there, then just go ahead and take a little bit of your coffee oil portion out of the formula. Just a little bit. I would say maybe even, I don't know, let's see. Let me look at my coffee oil percentage. I would say maybe 1%, possibly 2%. All right, if you want to, you can go ahead and get in here with your hands at this point, just to make sure that everything is mixed really well. Plus, it's fun. And this is the consistency, you guys. This is the texture of this. Okay, let's get a big mound of this. right, let's go ahead and get this into a jar. All right, right into the jar here. All right, and here we go. Here's our beautiful emulsified coffee body scrub. Looks really good. It smells even better. You guys should try this. It's a really nice formula. It's a little bit more on the greasy side, so if you wanted to add some arrowroot powder or cornstarch or tapioca starch, whatever you prefer as your oil absorber, you certainly could do that. But anyways, that's going to end it for today's video. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. We'd love to have you be a part of the community here and also over on Patreon, where you can find the full formula to this in a PDF written document. Let me give a big thank you to my channel members as well as my Patreon members, but a special shout out goes to my shout out tier level members, and we'll do that right now.